Good evening, Southern Maryland. I am lead forecaster John Bordash with you right now to give you a quick update on what we're going to be tracking over the next couple of days and about the next week, and what we've already been seeing across the area and this very crappy pattern. I'm going to minimize myself here, and this is a look at our rainfall totals over the past 30 days. We've seen anywhere between 6 to 7 inches of rain here in Southern Maryland, with areas to our south seeing more rain, over 8 inches. The areas to our north seeing a little bit less, between about 1 to 2 inches have been common in the northeast. Not as wet as what we've been seeing here across Maryland. And I think that this pattern does eventually change as we head into later this week, and we'll start to set up into more of a summertime pattern. And I expect this type of a pattern to be dominant through most of the summer months. So as we move it on forward, this is what we're going to be looking at, really starting Wednesday and Thursday this week. We'll have an area of high pressure sitting right off the southeast coastline, pumping in a lot of warm air. What we've been seeing is an area of low pressure sitting right off the mid-Atlantic coastline, and that's been giving us a lot of rain, like I just said, 6 to 7 inches over the past 30 days. While that area of low pressure moves out, higher pressure becomes dominant, and it pumps in this warm and humid air from the Gulf of Mexico. A very summer-like pattern. We're going to be talking about high temperatures in the middle to upper 80s, maybe a few days like Saturday getting close to 90. But what this also means is that the chance of afternoon thunderstorms returns. Not like they haven't been gone, but we're going to go to more of a summertime type of precipitation outlook. So instead of seeing days on days of really rainy weather, complete washouts, we'll have warm afternoons with the chances of afternoon pop-up showers and thunderstorms widely scattered, and nothing too organized. So I think, especially this weekend, we're going to again see temperatures get on up there, upper 80s, potentially lower 90s. And with that will come the afternoon shower and thunderstorm chance. Again, no day this weekend for Memorial Day looks bad, albeit this is only Monday. But right now, it looks just warm with that afternoon chance of showers and thunderstorms. So if you have any plans, I would keep them. But if you're headed down towards areas of the southeast, there's something we need to talk about. This area of high pressure has really relaxed the upper level winds. And what that does is that it allows for tropical activity to potentially brew. And that's what we're going to be looking at late this week going into the weekend. Now, if you're headed anywhere south of really the Outer Banks, so we're talking Morehead City, Savannah, Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, these are the areas that need to be aware that something could potentially form. That area of high pressure, what we call the Bermuda High, will allow an area of low pressure to form near the Bahamas. And this won't be anything too strong. It'll be a relatively weak system. But what the high pressure will do as it sits near Bermuda, those southerly winds will help to direct it towards the areas of the southeast coastline between Morehead City and really Daytona Beach. That's the area I'm really honing in on. And if I have to narrow that down even further, it'd probably be southern portions of North Carolina and South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. But nothing's official right now. We don't have an actual tropical system that has formed yet. But there is definitely the potential. I give it about a 50-50 chance of forming late this week, over the weekend. And if we're going to see any impacts here across portions of the southeast, it's going to be really early next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will be that time period I would be looking at. But again, this won't be anything too strong. We're not talking about a killer Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane. We're talking about a low-wind tropical system that would bring rain, maybe a little bit of wind. Not really looking at any type of a storm surge. But this is typically what we look at this time of year if we're looking for tropical entities to form. They're going to be weak systems that form close to the coastline, not big storms that form out in the middle of the Atlantic and work their way towards areas of the Gulf Coast or lower portions of the eastern seaboard. But this will set the tone for the rest of the season, for the rest of the hurricane season. I think we'll have a lot more of these what we call homegrown tropical systems that form either in the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, or near the southeast coastline. And they may be able to rapidly intensify. I'm really looking at the Gulf Coast this year for any type of above normal hurricane activity. And right now, this looks like a pretty average hurricane season. We're probably looking about 12 to 14 tropical systems with an average sitting right around 12. But if anything forms, it's probably going to form more so in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Caribbean than in the Atlantic. But that's just something to keep in mind Right now we're just watching this potential system that could form, and this again would be impacting areas of South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, if it forms later on this week, or next week rather. And again, we're also going to be talking about this pattern change we have setting up that will be dominant through most of the summer. I think this will be a pretty warm summer. You know, it kind of sounds crazy saying that, being in May and already seeing really cool and wet conditions. But I think this is going to be a pretty warm summer. I think we could see at least 40 days with temperatures that get up into the 90s, and maybe a few days, a couple of days that hit, that triple digit point. So we'll continue to watch that. We'll watch what's going to be happening later on this week and going on over into the weekend with the warm temperatures as well as the potential tropical activity. Stay with JB Weather. I'll post updates when I can on anything that would be affecting you and your plans. So stay with JB Weather and keep a weather eye to the sky. Stay safe and keep it tuned right here to JB Weather.